Well, everybody, it's time to talk about the sextortion scam once again. Last year, I said I'd keep making these videos until the problem disappeared for good. Well, here we are, and unfortunately, it hasn't gone away. Law enforcement says that this is just getting worse, and I personally have gotten, no joke, 4 messages in the last week from panicked young men who are being blackmailed by scammers. And if you're unfamiliar with this scam, I actually have screenshots right here to show you how this works. The young man typically meets a pretty girl on TikTok or Instagram, and the girl asks him to move the conversation over to Signal or Telegram or Discord. And after a little flirting, the girl says, "Show me something and let's make this fun." And then she'll usually send a certain kind of photo and ask him to do the same. Now, this is not really a pretty girl, and this is not her picture, but she's making the victim think that it is. The young man will try to play it cautious by asking for a video confirming that she is who she says she is, but the girl then threatens to leave. So the boy finally agrees to do as she says because this is the most excitement that he's had in a long time. The scammer says, "Take a pic in front of the mirror." The young man does. And then the scammer says, "Stay a little further away from the mirror." And the scammer goes on to reassure him that it will get deleted immediately. This keeps happening until eventually the scammer says, "So this is all a trap, and you fall for it all now. I'll be sending your pic to everyone you follow on Instagram, and I'll upload it on all websites. Like, I'll make sure your parents and family get to see it. Pay me and I'll delete everything." And the threat starts to get more real. And in some instances, the scammer threatens to send it to their boss and get them fired. And even if you pay them, they'll just keep asking for more. You can imagine how terrifying this is for young men, and that's why I respond when they call for help. Last week, I spent an hour on the phone with a kid in the middle of the night trying to walk him through this. And the reason that I respond to these cries for help is because I don't want them ending up like Jordan DeMay, or Rohan Koskriv, or David Gonzalez, or the countless young men who've died from suicide after falling for this scam. When someone reaches out to me, it's usually because they're too afraid to talk to their parents. So they come to the stranger on YouTube. They find my videos usually because they're alone and scared and Googling for help. So I think that there's a pretty good chance that someone out there is going to fall for a sextortion scam in the coming months and stumble across this video. So this video is for you, my young friend, and I hope that you don't mind, but I'm going to give you a little bit of dad advice. All right, first off, I want you to know how much I respect you for coming to me with this. That takes guts. And I get it, this is uncomfortable. You probably feel embarrassed or scared. But listen, that's exactly what these scammers are counting on. They want you to feel alone and helpless so you'll cave. But here's the thing, you're not alone, and we're gonna handle this together. Now, the first rule here, don't panic. I know that that's easier said than done, but losing your cool is how they win. The second rule, stop all communication with these people. Block them, delete them, whatever it takes. I know that they've probably told you not to do that and that there will be consequences, but let's be real. If they send out those pictures, they lose all leverage. The only thing that they want is money, and the moment that they see that they're not getting it, they'll move on. By blocking them, you're putting up a barrier. And now if they want to send anything to your friends, they'll have to manually search for each one, and frankly, it's just not worth their time. They'll move on to an easier target. Next, we're going to collect the evidence. And I know that that's awkward, but take screenshots and save the texts, anything that proves harassment. We're going to report their accounts, and if this escalates, we might have to bring in the authorities. Finally, we're going to do everything we can to pull your images offline, and there are tools for this. Check out this website. It's not perfect, but it's action, and action beats sitting around worrying. Listen to me. I've talked to over a dozen kids that this has happened to, and guess how many times the scammers followed through on their threats? 0. And I know that you're still thinking, well, what if they do it? Well, let's deal with that bridge later if we ever need to cross it. Right now, you've got a lot of life left to live, and this one moment, it's not going to define you. So let's talk future. You can't get tripped up on this again. No more trying to build relationships over a screen. Look, I get it. Digital feels easy and convenient, but that's not where real relationships are built. You want to get to know a girl? Ask her out. Buy her a cup of coffee or a soda. Show her you're someone worth her time, not just another guy sliding into her DMs with pixelated charm. Take it from me, girls aren't into pictures of your junk. Shocking, I know. But what are they into? Guys who are smart, guys who can work, guys who have skills, who can solve problems. Someone they know will protect them and provide for them. That's the kind of guy that gets attention, not someone spending all of his time scrolling through TikTok. So instead of wasting hours on apps, learn a skill, Take up coding, work on your fitness, start a side hustle, something that can make you money and, more importantly, make you proud of yourself. Yeah, this happened, and yeah, it sucks. But guess what? You're coming out of this smarter, and you're gonna be better because of it. They tried to take advantage of you, but you wanna know the best way to get revenge? Living really well. Outgrow this moment and let it be a footnote in your story, not the headline. We're in this together, life goes on, and I've got your back, always.